Hey, Cole, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Hey, glad to finally be here.
Cole McWilliams, it is very good to have you on the podcast. You're a gentleman I've been friends with now for going on 2 years. Our friendship started in Jacksonville, Florida at Jax 2, where I first met you as a walk-on area manager to Amazon, man. And before we get going with this, tell me a little bit about yourself in regards to where did you go to school and how did you actually start with Amazon?
Gotcha. Yeah. I grew up in the panhandle of Florida in Destin. Not many people think that people are actually, live there full time. It's a beautiful place to live. People literally, our motto is, we live where you vacation. It's about 20,000 to 25,000 people that live there year round. Beautiful beaches, crystal white sand. It's just gorgeous to live there. Stayed there my whole life. I got my AA at Northwest there in Niceville. Tried to save money through college. I put myself through college full time, working full time. Went to my upper grad years. I went to UWF in Pensacola, Florida, and right there on the border of Alabama, Mobile. Loved the University of West Florida. Very small program. Took me a little longer than most people to graduate school. Took me about 5.5 years. Struggled a little bit finding what truly made me happy to do in life. I was a finance major for most of my college years.
Okay.
It was nice, except for I realized I wasn't finance guy material. I don't think
Tough job, man.
It is. It's a lot of office hours too, sitting there at a computer screen. I could have gotten my degree in that, but, do what makes you happy. They always say, if, you're doing what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I had a professor who changed my perspective on life, got me really into what I wanted to do. I switched to the supply chain program, which was a new program at my school. Very small program. One of my professors, Scott Keller, he was at Penn State and Michigan State, top programs in the country.
Okay.
He got tired of, being for the big schools. He wanted to go start something special. He moved down to Pensacola, convinced him to start the program. We're talking, it wasn't even a major at the time. It was a certificate. But we got the class going by the time I was there. I was all in. I loved it. It's nice when you go to class like a small school like that, UWF. Your professor knows your name every day, ask you how your weekend was. It truly makes a difference. I could have gone to FSU or another big school. I probably just would have been another face, but it was nice at UWF. I talked to Professor daily if I needed anything, but graduated there. I was in the Supply Chain Logistics Association. I was on the board there. We set up trips. It was really cool. We actually toured Amazon before I started working there and currently work there now. We toured FedEx a couple times, toured all these different little local companies, supply chain. But after school, I started working for a company called Martin Transport. I did the trucking thing for about a year. I was an account manager / fleet manager. I was living in Biloxi, Mississippi.
So you were working in Mississippi?
Yeah, Mississippi.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did a little time in Memphis, a little time in Mississippi. It was really cool. Straight out of school, you always, you see trucks as a kid growing up, but learning all the things that go behind it, not just, people getting a truck and going. It's much more strategic than that. Got to make sure that you're getting your empty trailers back, supplying the needs of all your customers. It's very strategic on how you do it.
Yeah, my father and my uncle, they own a trucking company, and man, the truckers are interesting folks, man.
Oh, yeah. Some of my best memories, even though I'm 26 years old now, some of the wildest memories and some of the best ones are talking to my drivers. Even though I stopped working for the company about 1.5 years ago, I still have a couple of them on Facebook. They still hit me up, reach out to me. Some of those dudes I'll probably talk to forever. Then there's the dudes that they probably want to forget me as soon as I left.
I have some interesting stories from seeing truckers come into Newark, New Jersey. Some coming in just tired, some coming in just wilding out, raging out, saying what's ever on their mind, man. That is a interesting group of people right there. Cole, your first impressions of Amazon. You get out of school, you join a trucking company for a year, then you come to Amazon, to Jax 2, one of Amazon's largest volume producing sites in the network. What was that first impression like for you?
So I always wanted to work for Amazon straight out of school. It was a dream of mine. I thought whenever they announced the 2-day shipping, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like I said, I toured one of the facilities in Georgia with my program in college. I got to actually go inside one because not many people get to do, especially during COVID because of tours. It's nothing like you expect until you go inside of the building. It is crazy, the volume and the amount of people that work in a warehouse. I started right when...
They're like mini colleges.
It really is. 2,000, 3,000 people for an entire building. It is literally like a mini college, mini town, like you said. I started right when COVID was starting to take place in 2020.
Such an interesting time period to join the company.
Yeah, the protocols and everything to make sure we could all, safely work. And
so many policies.
Yeah, just making sure that we're meeting our promise to the customers. But it's a very, very, very fast-paced company. But I love it. Like I said, sitting in an office doing my job for a trucking company or doing something like the finance gig, sitting there staring at a computer all day, really wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah. Staring at a computer screen all day, it's tough, man. Like, there's some folks that can adapt to that and do that and see success in that. One of the things I've always enjoyed about Amazon is being on my feet, working with my hands, working with people, being able to take a walk when I need to take a walk. It's not something that you can always do at every single job that's out there.
No, especially like you said, your ability, you're still using a computer, you're still chasing things on your computer, chasing metrics, making sure how the shift's running, things like that, but you're not posted up at a desk all day. You make a desk out of whatever you can find, which is something I think is pretty cool. Yeah. I really enjoy it, being able to be on my feet, walk around. I've lost 50 pounds since I started working for the company, made myself a little bit.
Has it really been that much?
It's been 50 pounds. It's crazy.
Impressive.
Went from about 310 down to about 260 in a little over a year and a half.
Now, in life you can work for good leaders and you can work for bad leaders. Look, man, I've seen you work under some tough leadership. I've seen you start under not the greatest leadership, man. What was that like?
So, pretty much like in life, it's every situation. Everyone just, we have a common goal at the end of the day. If everyone in life, especially when they're graduating from college or coming straight out of high school, going into a trade, which by no means is a bad route to go.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to work with people you get along at all moments, it is not the case in life. You have to put your differences aside. You have to be able to work together, and at the end of the day, you still have goals to meet. Sometimes it's difficult, you'll butt heads, but if you have reason and you have metrics behind the things that you're trying to prove a point about, most of the time you can't lie with math. You just got to go out there and put your differences aside, and you got to be able to get the job done.
I've worked under poor leadership before, man. It's tough. In the Army, I can look at a poor leader I've worked under. In Amazon, I can look at a poor leader I've looked under. It can be tough, man. It's not easy. It's not fun. You don't like working for a leader that's not good, but you got to get through it and know that there is another good leader on the horizon that's eventually going to show up, and life is going to get a whole lot better at that point there. Man, Cole, you've worked a few different roles since you came out here to Lit One. So Cole transferred from Jacksonville, Florida to Little Rock, Arkansas, and upon entering the building in Little Rock, Arkansas, Cole was asked to work in a few different roles that were very key to our inbound operation. Cole, talk about what it was like working for those different roles.
So we did our short-term assignment in Oklahoma City. I always knew a little bit about the roles I was going to come help launch at Little Rock. Problem solve, this thing called ISS, and damage land for like damaged materials and things like that. I always knew about them back in Jacksonville, but I didn't truly know what went into the process of it really until I came out here to Lit One. There's a lot more that meets the eyes about it than I thought there was. It actually gave me a deeper appreciation for the associates and what they do every day. There's a lot of research that goes into these things, especially setting the foundation for a new building like Lit One.
Yeah, Amazon doesn't just take products, they put it in the inventory, customers buy it, and then it's sent out. There are very deep levels to the operation that go on that you were dealing with there.
Yeah, there's blueprints to this that, I mean, I have no plan on leaving here anytime soon, but the blueprints of the foundation for the launch are probably going to be here in the building for a long time until maybe a new, much more improved process will come in. But the groundwork and everything was set up for this building. It was really cool to, take my knowledge of what I had for my old department of inbound, do these new departments and help launch it, train associates, get it set up. It's really cool to see, the progress of it since we started as a building. Another cool thing too about that, having other new buildings reaching out, trying to see what's worked, what hasn't.
That's good networking.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to see. That's one of the cool things about Amazon that's encouraged. Try new things. If it works, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what to, chalk it up, try again the next day, see what works.
And then you were moved into a leaders of leaders role where you were sent to run the operation, an entire inbound operation for a few days. What was that like?
I really enjoyed it a lot. It's really cool. Instead of, managing a team of, 70 to 80 associates like I've been doing in the past, trying to get all your peers and your managers together, having a group of 4 to 5 people, some new, some internal, getting them on track to, hit the metrics that we're trying to hit for the day, know what we're trying to go hit. Not every person's going to receive information the same way. We could both be reading a book right now. I could think it says something, you could think it says another. Everything's about perception, but getting everyone to buy in, it's really cool, especially...
it's like being a coach of a sports team.
It really is. You're trying to be the best there is, going out there. Another thing is about forecasting, planning out your day. It's a very fast-paced environment. Some people, you're trying to, live in the moment and just get through that hour. You got to think about the end zone at the end of the day and how you're going to get there.
And the reason your job's so important is if you don't get all of those products in on time, the Amazon customer suffers. Amazon customers, they want their stuff fast, but also Amazon sellers, the people selling those products, want their stuff in Amazon's inventory fast. So your ability to be that problem-solved person launching that building, your ability to be that operations manager running that team, essentially you were ensuring that hundreds of thousands of people were getting their products on time.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like a double-edged sword sometimes. Like you said, you've got to meet the needs of a customer promise. That is why they sign up for Prime every year. 2-day shipping. Eventually, the goal is to be same day in almost every city across the country. We're slowly expanding to that. It's going to be a thing in the future. And also, like you said, too, you got vendors. You've got other warehouses shipping product that they don't have in a certain area. You got to get the orders out. There's no excuses, no misses. I think one of the cool things that Amazon does is the white glove deliveries. If it has to be done, a manager will come deliver your package. Those are some of my favorite stories. Another cool thing too is military deliveries. Like those are the number one priority, like every other customer's order, but go above and beyond to make sure it gets filled.
The white glove deliveries are picking up too. Like people want ping pong tables, people want trampolines. They want that stuff not just delivered to their house, but they want that stuff delivered to their house and then installed in their house. Because it takes time, man. I had a foosball table sent out here, installed by Amazon, and a ping pong table set up and installed. And it was awesome, man. I literally didn't have to do anything. They sent it all to me, told me what date they were going to show up, and for an extra $50, they installed it for me.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing too about e-commerce now. It's not just so much about shipping things. Now you can get the add-on service of having to come get assembled for you. In the past couple of years, it's just crazy to see how things have changed. The world's heading to a good place where, making the difficulties and barriers that people have at their households are being eliminated now. There's so many different opportunities for, some people, they want to put things together, they enjoy that thing. Then there's, say single parents, they don't have the time to do it. They can have the option, pay a little extra sometimes, have someone come do it for them. It's great to see.
Is that where you got your grills from?
My grills?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I probably should have had someone assemble it for me, but it took me about 2 hours. I got mine set up.
Okay. What are some of the things you've cooked recently out there?
Oh, my gosh. What haven't I cooked? Really big brisket guy. Love smoking a brisket. Takes a little bit of time to do that. That's a long cook. That's like 10 to 12 hours. I like tri-tip too. That's kind of like a California.
Tri-tip myself.
Yeah, that's definitely like a California thing. I don't know how I got into that in Florida, but tri-tip, ribs. My favorite thing though, it's definitely a very southern thing, but beer can chicken. I love doing that.
I'm not familiar with that.
Beer can chicken. You drink about 3/4 or about 1/4 of the beer can. Put some seasoning in it, and you put it inside of the whole chicken. Smoke it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and the steam from it takes over the flavor of the chicken. It is something different, but yeah, I love just grilling.
That's
food,
one of the things you're
outside.
cooking on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving, I got you covered.
Oh, I like that, man.
Yeah.
I like that, Cole. So you're developing yourself. Your career is going in a good direction. How's this job best prepared you for what's next in the future for you?
I think the main thing is just the support I've had around me. There's a ton of information out there, all the different resources we have on the websites, but most of my information has come from going out and asking my peers, asking people above me. No one has ever told me, no, come back a different time. The information is out there. If you just go ask for it, it'll be fed to you if you ask for it.
You know what's nice about networking with Amazon managers and the company of Amazon itself is Amazon managers come from all over the country and all across the world. You are walking into a network that's composed and filled up with people that are very self-driven and motivated. If you're not going to be motivated or self-driven, Amazon is going to be a company that you're not going to be at for very long. So you've walked into a company where you've developed a strong group of connections and a network that, who knows where that could end up taking you as the future moves on. It could take you into bigger and better companies in the future. It could take you to higher positions with Amazon. But the network and group of folks that you've met here has been a very good quality group of people there.
Yeah, even in the past year, people I've met back in Jax 2 in Florida, they've moved on to other buildings, different departments, still reaching out to those people. They're even introducing me to their contacts. Like you said, it's just crazy the background of people. You have military background, you have college, you have people that came from like Harvard and Yale. My favorite type of people out there are ones that started as internal associates, worked their way up to management. They truly understand what it takes at Amazon. It's just really cool. It's like a melting pot of people working together, making things happen.
I think there's like 1 million people now working in Amazon.
Oh yeah, it's
something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, it's only going to go up from there.
Entrepreneur side. If you look at the entrepreneur world, man, there are so many different ways you can be entrepreneur, from real estate to starting your own company to selling stuff on Amazon. Does Cole McWilliams see any sort of entrepreneur future for himself in the future? Any kind of side businesses he's thinking about doing?
Yeah, I got a couple. I really have a love for real estate. I'm still trying to get my feet settled on where I want to be long term before I buy a place. Love real estate. My parents recently bought a house about 3 years ago. I helped them fix it up while I was in school. I have a deep understanding for it. Those house flipping brothers, they make it look too easy on TV. There's definitely more to it than they just show on TV. But I truly have a love for real estate. I'd love to, get into that eventually. Another couple ideas. I would love to have a food truck.
Okay.
Yeah, really big into cooking. Would love to get a food truck going one day. I don't know if I would do a barbecue one. I don't know what type of food truck I would do, but doing that, having to be able to reach multitude of different people, there's so many different things I want to do.
Food trucks could be great. Like if you hire like the right person or two, and you get the right location for a food truck, like you can collect money all day long.
Oh yeah.
And then in real estate, like it's great market to be in. Real estate is something that, like, if you want to go full time, if you want to go part time, real estate is a incredible spot to be. I mean, now it's even weird for some realtors. There's a shortage of supply right now. The inventory is so low that some realtors can't even find places to sell at this point. And that's why we see prices going higher and higher, is because inventory is just so low.
Yeah, especially in the past year, you see people moving out from some of the bigger states like California, New York, and stuff like
New York,
that.
man. Yep.
Yeah, they're just
Absolutely.
going everywhere. Another thing about real estate, it's crazy. Over the year, you've seen the adaptation of people. They're selling their houses. They've got these remote jobs now. People, fixing up buses, getting campers and stuff like that. Are traveling across the country now because they got a remote job.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the different things we've seen because of COVID. Some people were forced to work from home, and now companies are looking at it and like, hey, if you can work from home, why not? Then there's some companies, you still got to be like our business. We're going to be, at the warehouse every day.
Yeah.
But, for some people, it's nice. They can go travel across the country. Some people are vlogging their, travels and stuff like that.
Yeah, vlogging is big.
Yeah.
I mean, working virtually for me, like I'd be interested in working virtually for entrepreneurial jobs that I do, for Airbnbs, for rental properties, stuff of that nature. I actually genuinely enjoy going into work and working with people throughout the course of the day. I look at virtual roles that we offer, and virtual roles, they're interesting to me. I don't know if I would do one. I haven't really thought too much about it. Would you consider a virtual role?
I might do it. I did a virtual job for about 2 months before I started at Amazon because my plant got shut down. But it's different. There's something about going to work, engaging with humans, seeing them face to face. There's something about that just motivates me, makes me happy to go talk to people. I don't know how I'd be working from home if I didn't get to talk to as many people as every day. As you know, I like to talk a lot.
Dude, social interactions are so important. Like I actually enjoy being by myself. I don't dislike being alone or having moments of solitude, but that's for like a couple hours straight, After a couple hours of being by myself, I like to go meet up with my friends. I like to go talk to people. Like that feels good. I enjoy that. So like that's where I agree. Like going into work, like you get a very, very good sense of friendship and connection and community and everything of that nature there. Working virtually, yeah.
Yeah, there's a different mix of people. There's introverts and extroverts. I like to think I'm a healthy mix of both. Like you said, I'm the same way. Sometimes I like to be home for a night, just, relax, reset the batteries. And then the next day I'm like, all right, I got to get out. I got to go talk to somebody.
Yeah, I think that's super important. I think it's important to know your own balance and to know your own temperament. Like if you know what makes you happy, if you know kind of like where you flow on your own chart, I think that's really important right there. I don't think sometimes people know enough of their like where their own temperament and their own balance is. Like even at age 32 right now, I feel like sometimes I'm still learning more and more about my own temperament, which helps me adjust and then maneuver better in the future. And Cole, as somebody that's within Amazon, moving in a good direction in the business world right now, what advice do you have for other business people, other young business people that are just getting into the business world or who have just started their corporate careers and are looking to progress and move in a good direction like yourself?
Main thing is don't be afraid to take risk. If you're not afraid to go, apply for that job. I probably applied for 50 jobs straight out of school. I got maybe 5 interviews straight out of school. It's a tough job market sometimes, but it's all about getting outside of your comfort zone. You never know. Some person that you may have met, passing on the street, you made an impression on them for the most minuscule little thing you could have done. They could, be the president of a company. They can give you a job reference. Next thing you know, you're working for that company. Reaching out to connections that you have. It's just...
Dude, speaking of that, one thing that I've worked on over the last week to incorporate into my daily schedule is to practice 10 minutes of networking each day. Mm-hmm. Either to reach out to old people in my past that I haven't talked to in a little bit, or just to get on LinkedIn and respond to inbox messages, comment on posts, stuff of that nature right there. There's exactly what you're alluding to, I think can be forgotten about sometimes.
Yeah, I'm big on LinkedIn. Talking to people in person, going up to that job, that's definitely still going to work, but it's a digital world we live in now.
It is, man.
LinkedIn, Indeed, things like that. It's all about getting yourself out there.
That's Zuckerberg's whole thing with Meta or whatever he's moved it into, is that he wants it to be even more in your face right there all the time than it ever was before.
Yeah, like I said, I'm 26, but just seeing technology, even in the past 5 years, where we're going to, it's just crazy to see. You're connected to people all across the world, not just your hometown. There's so much information out there now. You can, apply for jobs in different places. It is a cool time we're living in right now, and it's continuously evolving every day.
You're a big sports guy, right?
Yes, I say my teams aren't doing too hot right now, but big sports guy.
Who do you like?
So I'm a big FSU fan because my mom went to college there. It's the closest major college to Destin and Tallahassee. We had some good years there. Past couple years have been a little rough, but hopefully, we're turning the tides around now. Got old Mike at the helm now. Hoping FSU is about to get better. Great at basketball. Pretty much every sport but football right now we're succeeding in. And I'm a big Saints guy. It's the closest NFL team to Destin as well.
That's true. Tonight, Lakers Heat. Who are you rooting for? Lakers Heat tonight.
We got the Heat. Oh man. Jimmy Butler still on the Heat?
Mm-hmm.
I like Jimmy B. You got the Lakers. You got LeBron.
Jimmy Butler just got fined $30,000 last night.
For what?
His teammate got pushed in the back last night and fell to the ground and didn't get up. And he started cursing and trying to start a fight. So the NBA fined him $30,000 last night.
Jeez, that's a car.
That is a car, man.
Yeah, I don't know. The Lakers probably got that one, not gonna lie. You got Russ, who's literally almost averaging triple dubs at the Washington last year. Lakers are
having a rough time this year.
Yeah,
they're struggling out the gate.
Yeah,
LeBron's been injured.
Yeah, the Lakers they're the.
I'm rooting for them tonight. Yeah, I want to see them win.
Yeah, end of a season push. You'll see the Lakers get on it. They'll connect.
All right, Cole McWilliams. It was very good having you on the podcast. I appreciate you coming on here. You will definitely be welcome back on very soon. All right.
All right. Thanks for having me.